Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. So probably one of the most commonly requested videos that I get from people is what kind of products do I use around my home? Like what are my favorite smelling household air fresheners and cleaners and things like that I use to keep my house smelling nice. So just because I love perfumes and talk about them on YouTube doesn't mean that that's why I like having a clean smelling house. I think everybody loves a clean smelling house. My favorite thing is actually when I've been away for a while and I come back after a vacation or a weekend getaway and I walk into my house and everything is nice and clean and it smells fresh and it smells a little bit sweet or like vanilla or whatever I like it to smell like, or coming home after a long day of work and walking into a clean, good smelling home. So I'm actually really excited to share with you guys some of my tips and secrets for keeping my house smelling good all the time. Before we get started, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider heading on down and subscribing for more fragrance-related content. Okay, so before we get into the specific products that I like to use in my home and what I like my house to smell like, there are three main things that I think if you can stay on top of them, your house will already smell 100 times better. And that is garbage, dishes, and cat litter, or any type of pet related thing. So I do have a cat. She is a beautiful little tortoiseshell cat. Her name is Pyeongchang, and she is a very clean creature. She likes to keep herself clean. She smells naturally good, but she does have a litter box, and of course the litter box can be a source of some nasty smell. So what I like to do is keep on top of that and make sure that she always has clean litter. I like to clean it out at least every couple of days, and every week I completely change out the litter. So she's a bit of a picky cat. She doesn't like the scented cat litters that you can get that have like the nice aromas. She's very picky. She likes her basic unscented cat litter. So that's okay with me. I would rather not expose her to some of those chemicals, but in any case I do like to go through and make sure that she has nice clean litter, and that is the biggest thing I think to contributing to the whole house smelling good all the time. The second biggest culprit of a stinky house is garbage. So I always take my garbage out whenever it's full, obviously, but sometimes I change it even more frequently, especially if we're cooking something with meat. So especially fish or beef, anything like that, if you put any packages in the garbage or any old leftovers, those will stink to high heaven. It is just absolutely terrible. I cannot stand the smell of old meat or old garbage. So if I have anything like that in my garbage, I will take it out immediately. And I just find that if I can keep on top of my garbage and make sure there's nothing really rancid in there, that makes a huge difference overall as well. And the third thing that I think is most important to keeping your house smelling fresh and clean is the dishes. So I don't have a dishwasher in this house, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm used to washing by hand, which I'm totally okay with. So I like washing by hand, and basically after I have a few dishes in the sink, I just go ahead and wash them. I try to keep on top of them throughout the day. Of course, there are times I can't keep on top of them, like if I'm working, but if that's the case, then as soon as I get home from work, that is usually the first thing I do is tackle those dishes, because for one thing, I don't like the way they look sitting in a sink, but for another thing, the longer they sit there, the more your house is going to start to smell like old food or a dirty sink. And my biggest tip is never go to bed without washing the dishes. If you go to bed and your sink is clean and your counters are clear, you will wake up in the morning and your house will feel so much better. It's just better mentally, but also you will have no stench coming from your sink, which is a bonus. As for dish soap, I actually get people asking me sometimes, what is your favorite scented dish soap? Kind of a weird question, but for people who are obsessed with perfume, I totally get it. And I just like those OG scents that remind me of my childhood. So I like Sunlight, and I also like Palm Olive. So I'm usually using either a Sunlight dish soap or the original green Palm Olive. Those are my two favorite ones. So now let's move on to the stuff I actually like to use to give my home a nice scent. So the first thing is probably candles, and I don't have a specific type of candle that I go back to all the time. The exception to that would probably be in the winter. I do like to use certain Bath & Body Works candles. One of my favorites is Marshmallow Fireside, so I will buy that one repeatedly, and I really like to use that one when it's like super cold outside and there's snow on the ground. It just makes me feel very warm and cozy and gives a nice ambiance. But for the rest of the year, I like to use pretty much whatever's available, whatever's on sale, and whatever smells good. So currently I am working on finishing this vanilla lavender one from Bath & Body Works. The lavender vanilla is one of my favorites. It's a very relaxing, calming scent, and at the same time it's very pretty. I also picked up this one from HomeSense, and I think it's called Bohemian Citrus. It's just like a nice citrusy scent. It's very fresh and very light, almost has like a hint of mint in it, and this one I like to use when I want something a little fresher, like if it's a hot day outside. I also love the container. I think once I burn out of this candle, I'm going to refill the container with something else and just keep on using it. While we're on the topic of candles, I want to share with you guys this electric candle lighter. If you have not switched to an electric candle lighter, I don't know what I ever did without it. It's honestly life-changing. For one thing, they look really elegant, they work really well, and this way you're not throwing out empty lighter containers as you go through them. So I really don't like the look of like long barbecue lighters or anything like that anyways. This one just looks so much more aesthetically pleasing. You charge it with a USB cable, so it's always available, and you can bend the little head so that you can fit inside any candle. Totally life-changing, really affordable. I think I paid like $15 for this one. I'll link it down below for you guys if you're interested, and I will also link some of my favorite smelling candles down below for you as well. And I don't often use room sprays, but the last time I was in the city, this one caught my eye mostly because the bottle was so pretty, and this is called Peony Blossom from Studio Flora. And this doesn't just smell like peonies, you guys. I swear they've put vanilla or something else in here. It's like a very gourmandy type of a peony smell, and it smells so nice. It doesn't last forever, but for the short period of time that I do spray it, I love the way it makes my room smell. Just very clean and feminine and fresh, and that's exactly the type of smell that I like. So I will try to find this one and link it down below for you. It's probably the best smelling room spray I've ever smelt, and if you guys have any recommendations of room sprays that I should try, please write them down below in the comments for me so that I can go and check them out. One little hack that I have to help your home smell really nice, and I discovered this a few years ago, let me know if you have ever done the same thing, is I take a dryer sheet and I put it in the vent in the floor. And especially if I just moved into a new house or something like that and I want the whole home to smell really fresh and clean, I will take a dryer sheet and put it in every vent that I can find, pretty much, one in the kitchen, one in each bedroom, and it just makes the whole house smell like you just did laundry. I love that smell. I think everybody loves the smell of fresh laundry. When it comes to dryer sheets, again, I'm really not picky about the type that I use. I really like smelling different things and trying different things. The same thing with my perfume collection. So when I'm at Walmart or the local store, I will just go through and sniff all the boxes, and I'll just pick one that kind of strikes my fancy that day. And yeah, I think I like all of them. I like just your typical like linen smell. I like your warm and cozy. I like your lavender. I like all dryer sheet smells. Another little thing that you can do that I don't use all the time is to mix a little bit of fabric freshener or fabric softener with water and use that as a fabric spray for around your house. So I do like to do this in the wintertime when it's really cold outside and there's a lot of static electricity, because I hate when there's a ton of static and the air just feels really dry. So I usually mix about half water and half fabric softener and just spritz it around on the curtains and sometimes on the carpet or the sides of the sofa, just to make everything smell a little bit fresher and humidify the place a little bit and cut down on that static electricity. And again, I'm not picky about the scent. This one is just one of the fleecy ones. It's called Morning Sun. It just smells really creamy and really fresh and just really, really nice. Something else I like to keep on top of is pet hair. So I don't know if you have dogs or cats. I have a cat, and she doesn't make the place smell really, but I do like to keep on top of her cat hair. So I always go through at least every other day, and I use this brush to get rid of any cat hair that might be on the sofa, and every once in a while I will sprinkle some baking soda on places that she really likes to sleep, just to kind of soak up any of that like cat dander smell or that cat smell and keep the house smelling really fresh. So I sprinkle baking soda, I let it sit for a while, and then I come back and vacuum it up. Another way that just sort of makes my house smell fresh as a byproduct is by doing laundry. So of course laundry is something we do all the time, and I really love the way my home smells after I've done a fresh batch of laundry. And I'm not picky about the laundry detergent that I use. Thankfully nobody in my family has any kind of sensitivity, so I'm pretty much free to use whatever scents I want. And I kind of just switch this up as I feel like it. Sometimes I use Gain, sometimes I use Tide. Right now I've been obsessed with the Persil and Purex laundry detergents. I don't know what it is about them, but these two brands just smell so fresh and so clean, and they just have like this, almost like this men's cologne type of scent to them. I absolutely love the way clothing smells when it has this laundry detergent scent on them. And finally, my favorite home scenting product is the Airwicks air fresheners. Now, of course, this video is not sponsored. I have been telling you guys I love this since the beginning of my YouTube channel. I love Airwicks, and my favorite one is the Vanilla Passion. It is the only one I will use. I've tried using other fragrances in the walls, and sometimes I find they're just too strong or just too overpowering. This one is the perfect home scent. If you have not tried the Vanilla Passion Airwicks, I highly suggest it. I prefer the wall plugins over room sprays or anything like that because the wall plugins just work all the time. You don't have to think about them. So I will plug one of these in. They last for about 1 to 2 months before I have to switch them out. And my whole home just smells sweet and fresh and vanillic. So I have one upstairs in the hallway, and it's really nice because every time I walk into my bathroom, I get this beautiful whiff of this vanilla air freshener. And I always have one down on the main floor as well, halfway between the kitchen and the living room. And it's the same thing. Every time I walk into my house, every time I go from the kitchen to the living room, I get this whiff of this beautiful vanilla scented thing, and it just smells so nice. So this is my #1 favorite home scenting product. So that is pretty much it, you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed hearing about some of the things I do in my home and found some of these hacks useful, and I will see you guys all very soon in my next video. Bye for now.